Yo, hello. I want to talk about violence. More violence is indiscriminate. It can happen for any reason and to anyone. Until we do something to stop the sort of vigilante-style justice in this country, none of us will be saved. My Liberia is Liberia of hope. In my Liberia, it is possible. Violence is not part of my Liberia. Violence leads to property damage, injury, or even death, as we have seen in recent months in several parts of Liberia, including Monrovia. Talk to people in your community about violence. Stand up against mob justice. Be a community hero. Liberia is all that we have. We must all unite to uphold the rule of law. This is Old Man Sam Sanya, your community crime fighting partner. Thanks for listening. This is Old Man Sam Sanya.
It's about musical. There are crimes in many places. In every community, you can see. So if you see crime, report it. Don't take law in your hand for the right authority. That it can't take care of it. Crime Stopper here for us, bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor, if you see a you must talk it. I mean you cheche. Do it for your safety. If you see it, don't keep it. You must call to report it. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia. From the center to interior, Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, Old Man Sam Sanya.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia. From the center to interior, Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us.
Robbie, why you taking?
I said, darling, you look so worried.
Charles, I'm worried because I don't know where to get stuff for my shop and restaurant.
Oh, come on, man. Haven't you heard about Exeter's Best Price Store on Gurley Street and Smart Road Junction on the Old Road?
Oh, no, Charles. Tell me about it.
Exeter's Best Price Store got everything for your shop and restaurant. And the good news is that they have reduced the prices of club beer products and imported beverages. So to keep that graduation party, wedding reception, and whatever location jumping till the break of dawn. Exodus Best Price Store is that place for you.
Is that all?
No, they have for the first time introduced on the LIB market Buffalo Revive that comes with 4 different flavors: Cool Blue, Apple Kiwi, Full Red, and Fitness Orange. It's good for athletes and everyone. For wholesale and retail supply, call cell number 0770-617-575. Exodus Best Price Store on Garland Street and the Old Road Smart Road Junction. We are your cheaper wholesale and retail store.
Exactly. When you want some more, I provide. So we start to talk. Come on, some going to 20 pop. Put in toto ichiki.
One chicken say, Bobo ni oko, it's a classic.
Let's say a pleasant good morning to you and welcome to the Tuesday edition of the program from the Brain News. Today is the 11th day in the month of November and 2025 is the year. It's good to be here this morning. My name is Wendell Nimne and I'm here as usual with Esther Darlin Dako. Esther, good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Good morning, Wendell, and good morning to the peace-loving people of Liberia. It's good to be here on this Tuesday where we can also, talk about what's happening in our country, most especially what we have on the various local dailies on our decks.
All right, so that's it. In our studio, we have the Daily Observer and the Front Page Africa newspaper. So, folks, those of you who are watching us, please do us a favor, share the live, and also drop a comment. Like we always told you, it's important for us to know where you are watching us from. So, if you are watching this morning, please let us know by, dropping a comment on our comment section. So, today is Tuesday, the 11th day of November. And don't forget to know that the 16 is just right around the corner. But before the 16 is going to be the 15. And on the 15 is going to be the day for our celebration. All right. Freedom Radio will be 9 years old on Sunday. But because of the day falls on Sunday, we have decided to do all of our celebration on the eve of our birthday. So it's going to be on Saturday, the 15th of November. And it's going to be in the Lagoon community on Babla Field. We call it the Desert Field. All right. So all roads lead to the borough of Newcretown on Saturday, where Freedom FM will be celebrating our 9th anniversary. We have kickball, we have football, we have, fun. We'll meet new friends, we'll bump into old ones. I mean, too many things going to be happening on that day. So all of you, our fans, supporters, followers of Freedom FM, this entire 9th anniversary is dedicated to you. So we want you to be a part wherever you are. We want you to come and let's meet and have a great time together. It's going to be on Saturday in the borough of Newcretown, district number 16. And it's going to be in the Lagoon community. All right. There's a field there called Babla Field. We call it the Desert Field. So come and let's celebrate together our 9th birthday on Saturday, November 15th. All right, folks, that's the information for you. Let's say a big thank you to all of our sponsors: Crime Stopper Liberia, Exodus Best Price Store on Gurley Street and Oro Smart Road Junction, and our one and only giants in the petroleum business in Liberia, Mayuba and Sons Incorporated, headed by Amadou Sharif. So Esther and I together we will share the Front Page Africa and the Daily Observer newspaper. So let's begin now with the Front Page Africa newspaper. But before we do, I'd like to remember two of my today. The man Estuber Wadula, popularly known as NKT Pekin, celebrates his natality today, and he's all the way there in the United States. So I want to wish you a wonderful birthday, Estuber Wadula, popularly known as NKT Pekin. I wish you good health and long life. Also celebrating today is Othello Dixon, popularly known as Otello. Otello is celebrating. He's also in the United States, and I want to wish all of you guys, Estuba Wadula and Otello Dixon, wonderful, wonderful birthday. So let's get to the reading. We have before us this morning the Daily Observer and the Front Page Africa, and I'm going to take the lead with the Front Page Africa newspaper. And let's get to the top stories. Esteem on the justice system. George Fika blasts Justice Ministry over prison crisis and calls for urgent reform. And another story here says return to the biblical foundations. Stephen Chowin Nangbe United Methodist Church rejects purported charge conference. Terms action illegal and unbiblical. And lastly, for top stories, illegal arrest and incarceration. MDMC condemns reckless and unprovoked attack on CEO by Access Recovery Task Force counter lawsuit. All right, those are the top stories. But let's get to these top stories. The first one is staying on the justice system. Judge Fika blasts Justice Ministry over prison crisis and calls for urgent reform. Let's get to that story. It's very important. Drive into that story. Just give us a few minutes. Let's make our way to that story to bring you a few lines from there. All right, we are there, and so let's get to the readings. Criminal Court C. George Usman Esfika has taken a hard sweep at the Ministry of Justice, accusing the government of neglecting the country's prison infrastructure and failing to address chronic overcrowding and delays in criminal trials. Delivering the judge's charge at the opening of the criminal courts that's the criminal courts A, B, C, and D on Monday, November 10. George Fika said the situation at the Monrovia Central Prison has reached a breaking point, with more than 1,600 inmates crammed into a facility built in the 1970s to hold just 375 persons or prisoners. He described the Monrovia Central Prison on the justice system, urging the government to immediately resume construction of the long-abandoned new Monrovia Prison project in Cheesemanburg, which was started under former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. We appealed to the government of Liberia through the Ministry of Justice to cease with immediate effect the construction and completion of the new Monrovia Central Prison, Judge Fika said, noting the new facility could hold up to 5,000 inmates. The judge also blasted authorities for failing to prioritize rehabilitation and probation programs, arguing that the justice system must do more than merely punish offenders. Conviction and sentencing should lead to rehabilitation. The state must reform offenders to prevent future crimes, he warned. Overcrowding worsened by population boom and drugs arrest. Judge Fika linked the worsening prison congestion to Monrovia's exploding population, which has surged from 100,000 in the 1970s to nearly 1.8 million today, and a spike in drug-related arrests since the government's war on drugs began. He warned that the rising number of pre-trial detainees, some jailed for months or years without trial, undermines the principle of presumed innocence and erodes public confidence in the judiciary. One juror trial laws stalling justice. Judge Fika also took aim at a long-standing legal restriction that allows only one juror trial at a time in each criminal court, calling it counterproductive and a major obstacle to speedy trials. This outdated rule stalls progress, extends pre-trial detention, and burdens the court docket, he said, urging lawmakers to revisit the law to allow multiple juror trials simultaneously. Lawyers warn the judge cautioned defense lawyers and prosecutors against filing excessive pre-trial motions intended to delay trials, warning that sanctions will be imposed on those who abuse court procedures. As the November term of court opens, Judge Fika's remarks echo a familiar frustration among judicial officers over systemic delay, overcrowded prison, and government inaction problems that continue to undermine justice delivery in post-war Liberia. Well, that's the story there. A stain on the justice system is the caption right here on the front page of the Front Page Africa newspaper. Let's get to the big stories. Findabondo's allies reject corruption and money laundering charges and brand indictment political witch hunt. The assets recall the legal agreement illegal, so called the legal agreement illegal. So if this was an illegal deal between Anita Group of Company and the Ministry of Defense, why it is that the minister who signed the deal on behalf of defense is not part of the indictment. It is because he serves as a special military advisor to Mr. Waka. Pure witch hunt and selective justice. This government, through the Business Registry Office, provided Anita Group of Company its 2024 and 2025 certificate of business registration. If this entity is illegal, why keep them being registered under your administration? Sekou Kalasco Dimaro, former presidential aide. Let's take a few lines from there. Few lines from that story. Let's see where we will begin that story from. So I'm making my way to that story. Yes, I'm there. Supporters and close allies of former Chief of Protocol, Madam Nora Findabondo, have mounted a vigorous defense against what they describe as politically motivated corruption and money laundering charges brought against her and others by the Asset Recovery Task Force. The group insists that the charges are a deliberate attempt by the Unity Party-led administration of President Joseph Waka to silence key opposition voices, undermine the political strength of the Coalition for Democratic Change, CDC, and discredit Bondo's long-standing reputation as a law-abiding businesswoman and public servant. The indictment, which also names businessman John S. Uboti of the MDMC Company and Madam Thelma Duncan Sawyer, widow of former interim president Dr. Amos Claudius Sawyer, has drawn widespread condemnation from opposition politicians, civil society organizations, and members of the business community. Many are calling the case a classic example of selective justice and political retaliation disguised as an anti-corruption campaign. In a passionate statement in Monrovia, former presidential aide Sekou Carrasco de Mauro described the indictment as a calculated act of political persecution. He accused the Bouakas administration of hypocrisy, noting that the same government branding the Anita Group of Company as illegal continues to issue it valid licenses and tax clearances. Okay, the assets recovery called the legal agreement illegal. So, if this was an illegal deal between Anita Group of Company and the Ministry of Justice, why is it that the minister who signed the deal on behalf of the defense is not part of the indictment? It is because he serves as special military advisor to Mr. Bouaka. Pure wish hunt and selective justice, Carrasco noted. He continued, this government, through the Business Registry Office, provided Anita Group of Company its 2024 and 2025 Certificate of Business Registration. If this entity is illegal, why keep them registered under your administration? Documents in the possession of Front Page Africa confirm that the Anita Group of Company, business entity linked to Madam Bondo, is legally registered under Liberian law. The company holds a valid business certificate issued by the Liberian Business Registry and has been fully compliant with its tax obligations, securing a 2024-2025 tax clearance from the Liberia Revenue Authority. The company also signed a legally binding rice supply framework agreement with the Ministry of National Defense on May 27, 2022, duly notarized by the Office of the Notary Public of Montserrat County. The agreement, signed by then Minister of Defense Honorable Daniel D. Ziankan Jr., authorized Anita Group of Company to supply over 64,000 bags of long grain mill rice in 25 kilogram packages during the fiscal year 2022. The legal documentation, also endorsed by the Ministries of Finance and Justice, confirms that the transaction was officially sanctioned by the government of Liberia, making it difficult for critics to reconcile the government's current position that the deal was illegal. So, Esther, I think we can leave the story right there and take our final story here on the Front Page Africa newspaper.
Of course.
And then we send controls to you to bring us the Daily Observer. So, those of you who are watching, don't forget to drop your comment and be a part of this edition of the the print news on Freedom FM 87.9. Let's take our last story. US 95 million gap in 2025 approved budget with our recast raises alarm as Finance Ministry accused of budget manipulation. There was no recast of the 2025 budget. Where was it held? When? If you have any doubt, you have to ask the Ministry of Trade. They presented their report with the numbers, and so they must answer to it. But as far as I am concerned, there was no recast. Representative Pete McJury, District 1, Maryland County Chairman, House Committee on Ways, Means, Finance, and Budget. All right, so let me take a few lines. This story is very interesting. Let me take a few lines before Esther can bring us the Daily Observer hard copy. All right, the Unity Party-led administration last week made history when it submitted to the legislature the draft 2026 national budget totaling US 1.211 billion, the largest ever projected in Liberia's history. However, it's totaling US 95 million. Discrepancy has emerged between the 2025 approved national budget and the figures presented in the newly drafted 2026 fiscal framework by the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, raising serious questions about fiscal transparency, accountability, and legislative oversight. The legislature had earlier passed the 2025 national budget at US 880.66 million, yet the draft 2026 budget document references the 2025 approved budget as US 975 million, a nearly US 95 million difference. The revelation has triggered public outcry and scrutiny for financial experts, economists, civil society groups, and the media, who are demanding answers from both the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning and the legislature. If the legislature passed US 880.66 million, where did the additional US 95 million come from? Was there a recast that was not made public, or has the government spent beyond legislative approval? One senior budget analyst questions over fiscal accuracy. The hype that national budget has reached a milestone of 1 billion may be pleasing to the ears, but assessment and analysis of the revenue base and estimates used to determine the US 1.211 billion continues to flag inaccuracies and deceptions. The total resource envelope represents about 375, that's 37.5% increase over the US 880 million fiscal year 2025 budget, and also about 20.5% more than the estimated year-end outturn of US 975 million. But how the 2025 budget was revised or upgraded to US 975 million from US 880 million remains unclear, as there is no record of recast of the fiscal year 2025 approved budget. $75 million as the final revenue number for fiscal year 2025, and under which the Ministry of Finance Development Planning is projecting US 899 million as total estimated domestic revenue target for end of 2025, and using this number as convenient path for estimating US 1.139 billion as the domestic revenue target for fiscal year 2026. There have been mounting concerns about the accuracy of the domestic revenue number. The approved fiscal year 2025 budget estimated US 804 million, while in the draft fiscal year 2026 budget, that estimated has changed to US 899 million, which number represents the accurate domestic revenue estimate remains unclear. The LRA boss Doba Jala, during a November 10th MICAT press briefing, quoted the US 804 million contained in the fiscal year 2025 budget as the LRA revenue target, and further elaborated on it by saying that LRA is progressively meeting its targets and has collected about 78% of the target, and boasted currently that his LRA was netting on average about US 68 million monthly, and poised to beat the 804 million target. Folks, because of time, let's send controls to Esther. Maybe we can take one or two stories from there, and then we go for our regular breaks. So, Esther, that story is very, very interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
It is. And this is a follow-up, though. We kind of read this on yesterday. I have the Daily Observer on my desk this morning, and the top story says Bouaga sends AML deal back to negotiating table. President cites troubling provision and continued monopoly risks. This is right here on page 10. We're going to run there quickly and bring you some lines from this story. It says, in a stunning turn of events, President Joseph Neman Boakai has instructed the Interministerial Concession Committee to return to the negotiating table with ArcelorMittal Liberia, citing serious concerns over multiple provisions in the controversial Third Amendment to the company's mineral development agreement. The move comes amid growing public outrage and scrutiny over the leak agreement's opaque signing process and its implications for Liberia's economic sovereignty. According to sources inside the executive mansion, the president is deeply troubled by key aspects of the leak agreement, particularly the railroad system operating principles, a sweeping framework drafted by AML that effectively locks in the company's control over the Yekepa-Bikana rail corridor for decades to come. The RSOP insiders say was written well ahead of the National Rail Authority becoming fully operational, and it leaves little to no room for government oversight. The IMCC is to report back to the president within a week. Even more troubling, AML leaked agreement makes it explicit that no future leadership of the rail authority nor any independent rail operator later selected by the government can alter or amend the RSOP without AML's consent, even after 2030. When an independent operator is expected to assume control of the rail by on behalf of the government, the clause grants the company perpetual influence over Liberia's most strategic infrastructure asset, directly contradicting President Bouaka's statement or stated policy of establishing an independently operated multi-user rail system that supports multiple mining and non-mining users and investors. The RSOP is the Bible of railway management and should not be written by one user, says an industry professional. Perhaps the most continuous provision in the leaked document is what legal experts describe as a supremacy clause, language that places the agreement above Liberian laws and regulations under this clause. If any future law or government regulation conflicts the AML contractual rights, the agreement provision will reveal such language, critics argue, strips the government of its sovereign power to regulate its own infrastructure and mining sectors in the public interest. Can you imagine? The agreement also employs several other legal devices designed to entrench AML's monopoly over the rail and port infrastructure for another 25 to 50 years at the expense of other potential users, including new entrants like Avanho Atlantic, an American company backed by mining industry magnate Robert Ferdinand, which recently signed a rail access framework agreement with the Liberian government to transport iron ore through Liberia from Guinea. Sources within the executive mansion says President Bouaka's displeasure was visibly evident after he was taken through the finer details of the document, which had been rushed to his desk by the IMCC under what several insiders from the government described as immense pressure from the Ministry of State, including the Office of the Legal Advisor to the President. The revelation that Justice Minister Oswald Tued and Finance Minister Augustine Gaffon did not personally sign the agreement was previously reported by the Observer, instead sending proxies Mark PP, which is per pro, to sign on their behalf, only further deepens the public's mistrust of the process. The former Minister of Mines and Energy, Wilmot Pay, who reportedly refused to sign over his outright objection to various clauses, was replaced within days. The Deputy Minister for Administration, Indora Blay Pechard, was ordered to sign as acting minister despite her not having participated in any part of the negotiations and clearly having no real knowledge of the agreement herself, according to the persons familiar with internal deliberations. Am I forced to sign it? Interesting. It says several lawmakers have already vowed to challenge the agreement if it's submitted to the legislature with so many unacceptable provisions as have been leaked, arguing that it violates both the Public Procurement and Concession Act and Liberia's broader commitment to open competitive concession processes and obscures legislative authority. It is the second time in less than 5 years that the Third Amendment of AML's MDA is being negotiated. In September of 2022, under then President George Mani Weah, the legislature returned the agreement to the executive after the House of Representatives identified numerous flaws. Among the issues raised at that time were AML's attempt to retain full operational control of the Yekeba Picana Rail and the lack of independent oversight of iron exports and the company's failure to clearly define its fiscal obligations to the government. Lawmakers also complained that the agreement was inconsistent with Liberia's mineral and mining law and ignored the government's emerging plan for the anti-user rail system that will serve multiple mining companies, not just one. Faced with those or these objections, President Weah was forced to return the amendment to the IMCC for renegotiation, a process that stalled amid changes in government and increasing tensions between AML and other concessionaires seeking access to the corridor. Now, President Bouaka has done the same, sending the agreement back to the IMCC and in his case, before even forwarding it to the legislature with explicit instructions to renegotiate provisions that compromise Liberia's sovereignty, transparency, and competitiveness. Observers, Bouaka's move marked a crucial test of his leadership and of his IRS agenda, which pledges to reform government and restored credibility to Liberians' institutions. It's clear the president recognizes that a deal as written will undermine everything he stands for, said one senior official. He has to choose between the quick US 200 million payday, which will vanish in months, or a future where Liberia actually controls its infrastructure and earns billions in long-term revenue. The stocks could not be higher. The U.S. House Foreign Affairs Committee recently praised Liberia for making strong progress towards a transparent multi-user rail system under a truly independent operator framework, calling it as an indicator of good governance. For President Bouaka, the decision to send the AML deal back to the IMCC is more than an administrative correction. It is a reassertion of national sovereignty, a clear signal that under this watch or his watch, Liberia will not be bullied or bribed into surrendering control of its future. As one close observer put it, this is not just about iron ore, it's about integrity, leadership, and whether Liberia finally learns from its past mistake of allowing this one company to control a very strategic rail and port infrastructure asset. Well, that's the story. Let's come back to the front page of the Daily Observer. Trump pushes for Abrigo Garcia deportation to Liberia despite legal battles at Justice Department says all appeal exhausted defense lawyers decry move as retaliation and violation of due process. But that's the story there. Same money drowning fisher folk in poverty. Send money drowning fisher folk in poverty. This is also on the front page of the Daily Observer. Let's take this one. Minister Berselo Yanti, hailed for transformative leadership at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Civil Society Network says Liberia's global image is reborn under her watch. At the back page of the Daily Observer, government WB launches US 18 million health security project. Dr. Porto calls for continued global support to sustain gains. This is also here at the back page of this paper. And then finally, for the back page, we have MDMC condemns reckless will on CEO accuses Asset Recovery Task Force of overreach and abuse of power. We'll take some line.
That story.
Okay, then folks, so far so good. These are all of the stories we have from the Daily Observer front and back pages. Let's send controls to you, Wendell.
Thank you very much, Esther Daku, for that splendid presentation of the Daily Observer newspaper. But before we bring in our weather report, man, let's do first. Let's recap those stories we brought to you this morning from the front page Africa and the Daily Observer newspaper. This program from the Pre News is brought to you through the kind courtesy of Crime Stopper Liberia, headed by old man Sam Sion, and also Mayuba and Sons Incorporated, one of the giants in the petroleum business, headed by Amadou Sharif and Exodus Best Price Store on Gurley Street and the Old Road Smart Road Junction, headed by Mr. Henry K. Jackson, a proud son of Maryland County. All right, folks, these are the stories we brought to you from the front page African newspaper. Top stories first is teen on the justice system. Judge Figa blasts Justice Ministry over prison crisis and calls for urgent reform. And return to the biblical foundations. Stephen Trowin, Nangwe United Methodist Church rejects purported charge conference and terms action illegal and unbiblical. And lastly, for top stories, illegal arrest and incarceration. MDMC condemns reckless and unprovoked attack on CEO by Assets Recovery Task Force and counter lawsuit. And then these are the big stories. Fundabondo's allies rejects corruption and money laundering charges, and brand indictment political witch hunt. And US 95 million gap in 2025 approved budget without recast raises alarm as finance ministry accused of budget manipulation. There was no recast of the 2025 budget. Where was it held? When? If you have any doubt, you have to ask the Ministry of Finance because I cannot speak for the ministry. They presented their report with the numbers, and so they must answer to it. But as far I am concerned, there was no recast. Rep. Mark Jury, District Number 1, Maryland County, Chairman, House Committee on Ways, Means, and Finance and Budget. All right, so that's Bwaka sends AML deal back to negotiating table. President cites troubling provisions and continue monopoly risk. Trump pushes for Abrigo Garcia's deportation to Liberia, despite legal battles, as Justice Department says all appeals exhausted. Defense lawyers decry move as retaliation and violation of due process. And send mining drowning fisher folk in poverty. Another story here says Minister Beslo Nyanti Hill for transformative leadership at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Civil Society Network says Liberia's global image is reborn under her watch. And the back page of the Daily Observer, government and World Bank launch US 80 million health security project. Dr. Porto calls for continued global support to sustain gains. And lastly, MDMC condemns reckless raid on CEO, accuses Assets Recovery Task Force of overreach and abuse of power. Well, folks, those are the stories we brought to you. Let's get to our let's take our break quickly, and we'll come back. You're going to hear from us from the weather report man. So let's take our break quickly, and come back and give you the weather report.
You look so worried.
Robbie, why you taking?
I said, darling, you look so worried.
Charles, I'm worried because I don't know where to get stuff for my shop and restaurant.
Oh, come on, man. Haven't you heard about Exeter's Best Price Store on Gurley Street and Smart Road Junction on the Old Road?
Oh no, Charles, tell me about it.
Exeter's Best Price Store got everything for your shop and restaurant. And the good news is that they have reduced the prices of club beer products and imported beverages. So to keep that graduation party, wedding reception, and whatever occasion jumping till the break of dawn, Exeter's Best Price Store is that place for you.
Is that all?
No, they have for the first time introduced on the LIB Full Blue, Apple Kiwi, Full Red, and Fitness Orange. It's good for athlete and everyone. For wholesale and retail supply, call cell number 0770-617-575. Exeter's Best Price Store on Gurley Street and the Old Road Smart Road Junction. We are your cheaper wholesale and retail store.
He said, when you want some more, I provide. So we start to talk. Thomas and going to plenty, but put it to Ichiki. We are living since he hot.
We want peace in Liberia. Peace in Morocco.
Yo, hello. I want to talk about violence. More violence is indiscriminate. It can happen for any reason and to anyone. Until we do something to serve the source of vigilante-style justice in this country, none of us will be safe. My Liberia is Liberia of hope. In my Liberia, it is possible. Violence is not part of my Liberia. Violence leads to property damage, injury, or even death, as we are seeing recent months in several parts of Liberia, including Monrovia. Talk to people in your community about violence. Stand up against mob justice. Be a community hero. Liberia is all that we have. We must all unite to uphold the rule of law. This is Old Man Sam Sion, your community crime fighting partner. Thanks for listening. This is Old Man Sam Sion.
We want peace in Liberia. Peace in Morocco.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We want peace in Liberia, and that's something that we'll always pray for, peace in our country, because we know what war did to this country. We fought war for so many years, and we benefited nothing. All the war brought to us was total destruction and setbacks. So we're not going to, tolerate war. Let's do the talking so we can solve our problems. Let us not take guns and go into the bushes and kill our people for nothing. So talking is the only remedy to Liberia's problem. All right, so we're leaving the shores of Liberia now to welcome our weather report man, Mr. Suleiman Tunis, there in New York City. Tunis, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Wendell. Good morning, Esther. Good morning, Mama Liberia. Assalamu alaikum to my Muslim brothers and sisters. This is your weatherman, Suleiman Hashim Tunis. We're back here today to let you know how your day is going to be looking like the rest of the day, because we're already midday right now. Anyway, there's chances of rain this afternoon up to the evening, so expect that. And the whole week is not a good week. It's not going to be the normal November week. It's going to look like October, because from now to Saturday, you're going to start experiencing rain, cloud, and sunshine. That's what we're going to have, and a lot of lightning and thunderstorm. Today, the rest of the day, starting from now till the evening hour, there's a chances of rain. It's not going to be heavy rain, but the rain that torment you, you're sitting somewhere, you expect it to stop and just keep raining. All right, and be careful when you get on the motorbike, because the rain might catch you before you get to where you're going. So your best bet is to get in a cab or keke. Today, that's the today weather forecast. The rest of the day might be a little bit wet. Okay, and tomorrow almost the same as today. It's cloudy, mix of rain and clouds, light rain, thunderstorm, same thing. Today, tomorrow's Thursday, almost the same. Thursday, almost the same. Expect the rain, thunderstorm, light rain, thunderstorm, and the wind is not going to be blowing too much. The most is going to be the highest mark is going to be 6 miles per hour. Even today the wind is going to be only 2 miles per hour. So it's going to be almost windless day. Okay. So from now, this is from your weatherman Tunis from Staten Island, New York, through Freedom FM 87.9, the most listened to radio station for your weather report. So guide yourself. A few days, it's going to be wet day in the city of Monrovia. Some is wet, some dry, some cloudy, and a lot of thunderstorm with lightning. So if you chicken roll, mind yourself. Don't get outside all the time because our lightning and thunderstorm looking for people like who are still chicken. Okay, guys, that's your weather.
For real?
Yeah, it happens.
It doesn't
And
just
what
happen
is it?
like that. It's just somebody go
I
to do
wouldn't,
something.
yeah, sure, but I
Yeah.
witnessed lightning killing people, so
Esther, you may not believe that during our days, chicken roll were too many chicken were
Yeah.
getting missing, and lightning used to.
and I didn't know they use a meal scary. When you
Yeah,
see chicken, it would lightning when you see. So every time when we pump chicken like that,
So you actually was in the pump chicken window.
I pump chicken. I'm not supposed to pump chicken.
But Esther, somebody in the
my
comments-
mom, that's the other thing. My mom, I used to love raising chicken myself. My mom used to have chicken. So what they would do, they would steal my mom chicken.
So
When
you
they
see
steal-
it there.
So when they steal my mom chicken too, I steal other people chicken. And the guy want chicken roll, yeah, who were talking, he said he won't be president.
I know.
That was his past. So are you gonna judge him from his past? No. But anyway, that's it. Thank you so much.
Esther, before I go, I just want to read one comment for Esther. Somebody admiring your
I know you're gonna
dress.
see that coming.
He said you should contest
I've
the
been laughing.
2029.
The
Okay,
remove
I must
Bridget
have.
Spoon.
Yeah, send money for all the contests.
No,
When
we're
you want-
laughing.
support her financially. She will jump into the race.
No, I beg you.
And we
So
asking
let
you,
money come
Esther,
forward with the style.
Esther, please, we are asking you to please take care of the kickboard thing. Don't quit
Yeah,
before.
man, kickball team, they don't they care.
No, it's not that because this is a big celebration for us.
That true.
Okay, it's a big celebration. We need an experienced coach.
I already agreed to play. So
The woman is
Okay.
rough and ready. The woman is
All
rough
right,
and ready.
okay, all right. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Yeah, thank you so much.
woman
See
is
you
rough
guys
and
later.
ready. You know, when you see Esther, you will know Esther is a good kickball player. So
Lord.
yeah.
But anybody you see play with bare feet, any woman, girl you see play with her bare feet, that's a very good player.
The only thing we want to hear on that day, we want to hear from her say you pitching the ball too high. All right, man. To this, thank you so much. Thank you for the weather report. We'll catch up. And folks, that's it. We are here, and I mean, too many things happening in our country. Look, the country is sinking. The country is sinking under this 42 years experienced president. Some of you don't go places, so you don't see things for yourself. But we go places and we analyze. The country is going down. And Liberia is the only country that, the government can just impose her will on us and we let them have a free ride. In other countries, these things don't happen. We elected the government. If the government is going the wrong way, we should checkmate the government. We should tell them that, no, this is not the way you people should proceed. We saw a lot of concession in this country that are yet to benefit the people of this country. I remember during the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf administration, there was 66 concessions signed. Those concessions, the people today continue to cry. But we are still witnessing government upon government signing contracts with foreign companies that are not benefiting the people of this country, which is wrong. You come in my country to invest. You want to take all my resources from my country, and you don't want to leave me with something that tomorrow when you are gone, I would say, yes, I agree that it took my resources, but look, see what they left here. But these people, they would just come, suck our gold, suck all of our minerals, take away all our, resources, and they leave us with nothing. But we continue to sit down and witness the government just having her free will, because that's how I call it. The government is having a free will. She's what's belong to us as Liberians. But we fold our hands and we're watching it happening.
Because we don't have the power to do nothing when
we do have the power. Esther, we do have the power. And the people said President Weah was not doing good in this country and they voted him out.
Of course.
All right. So we seen this.
That is in 6 years. If this thing is signed,
in 6 years, I agree. We're not going to go to the bush to take guns. No, we will continue to talk.
Right.
And people were talking for 6 years.
All we can do.
And people were talking for 6 years, and they said President Weah was not proceeding rightly. They came and they voted him out.
Right.
So we will continue to talk. 6 years is not forever. 6 years is not forever. We were here talking when Ellen Johnson Sirleaf first year was saying Ellen Johnson 6 years was soon come and pass. Ellen first 6 years came and passed. The second 6 years came and passed. George Weah 6 years came and passed. Today we have the rescue government. The rescue government is there, just benefiting their pockets.
Rescuing themselves.
Just benefiting their pockets. That's all they are doing. Nothing is happening in this country. Some of you need to go places and see. You don't go places, so you don't see things. Some of us, we can go around and see what the people are going through. It's not easy. You go into the communities, there are Chinese people doing illegal sand mining, taking away the sand, undermining the community. Tomorrow, when the Chinese people are going back to their country, then the people are left with nothing. They become homeless. Erosion come and take away their homes. What kind of country is this? What kind of a country that we find ourselves called Liberia? Oh, that's African Republic. But we have nothing to show. Everything we see in this country now, I just think of the past in other countries. People are building overhead bridges, building it under the tunnel, doing all kinds of things. Well, Liberia, we stay struggling to get electricity. We stay struggling 170 or some more years now. We stay struggling for pipeline water, no good roads, nothing. You enter the capital city, it's like you're in one of the big villages around the world. What kind of country is this? We have all the resources, less than 5 million people. The strength of the Nigerian army alone is more than our country. The strength of the army in Nigeria is more than the population of Liberia. Nigeria, they got more than 10 million people in arms. I mean, just the military. I didn't want to go to the paramilitary. Just the army of Nigeria. The strength alone is more than our country population. We got all these things then, but we're still struggling. Rotting buses then still plying the routes. Old trucks then still breaking down the road. They're taking grass, they pull it down on the road. They say that reflectors. Only in Liberia, these things happening in this modern age and time. A Salamita, they in our country. We know how they got into this country. Illegally, they got into this country. They did not win the bid when the bid was put up. Another company won it, but they bribed their way through and got the deal. Today, what Liberians are benefiting, you get a few hundred people, they want. Only the government officials are benefiting, while bulk of the people live in poverty. What kind of country? When will we stand up to President Bouaka and say, oh man, you fool us all. The 42 years experience you say you have, we're not seeing you demonstrating it. We're not seeing anything. The president have made how many travels now? What are we to benefit as a country? Let's all read the comments, man. I don't know. Liberia business will keep talking. What I said, we will not go forward. We'll talk. Maybe one day Bwaka will kind of say, let me do the right thing for my people. Seriously. But it's not easy. Let's take few comments, take few calls, and then we're done.
Of course, in the comment section, we have Jefferson Carter. He says he's watching live. We have Henry Todd Jr. says, good morning. I'm watching from my residence in Caldwell, and big thanks to our Liberia. Phoenicia Junior Bar says, watching live from Newtown. We are is coming back. We have DJ Success says he's watching. We have Good Mandingman. Toll says, good morning, Wendell. I'm watching from the birth of Newtown, precisely to win community. We have Jeremiah. What is it? Jeremiah Payway says, good morning, Freedom FM family. I'm for the show this morning. Moses Quincy says, I'm watching from Buchanan City, Grand Bassa County. Kelvin Conte says, watching from 72nd. James C. Elise says, I'm watching live from Minnesota. Aliyu Masale says, good morning, guys. Isaac Tule says, good morning, Freedom FM. I'm watching live from Oro Town Community. We have Talk and Do. Sise says, good morning. I'm watching from Ghana's Supermarket, Snow Hill Community. Gay Caesar Divine Grace Bryson Jr. says, good morning, guys. I'm following from Banasville, Keba. And Mohammed Mariam J. Sherry says, good morning, Wendell and Esther and the peace-loving people of Lofa County. I am following from Mamadi Diakite Intellectual Forum in Jacob Townsend Francis Community. Eating has become an achievement under the 85 years old man Joe Bwaka leadership. We are coming back 2029. We have 77 says he's following from Portugal. We have Clarence Dwyer. He says, good morning. When they're in Esther, you dress like you want to contest the 2029 representative election in District 11. District 11, you see?
Big girl, don't put Esther in trouble.
Tell you,
don't put Esther in trouble. Richard and Country Man.
I can sacrifice my blood for you, mama.
You're not small, man.
Better than Richard Cole. Interesting, though. And then we have Mela. Mela says, greetings to all. I'm watching from Caldwell, La Joy community.
Yeah, La Joy, that's it.
Thanks so kindly for the discussion. We have Gatti P. Colley says, good morning, my big brother Wendell and Esther. Thomas.
Hey, Junior Begin, what's up?
He's watching. He says, good morning. We have Sam Toby. He says, I'm following from Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. We have Joel Johnson says, good morning, Freedom FM. It's Joel Johnson, reporter from Voice of Yamini in Lamco, Yekipa, Nima County. And his telephone number is here.
Okay, yeah, I will have to take your number. I need to get in contact with you. Please, I'll hit you up.
We have Prince Shafar says, good morning, following from Jamaica Road. Yekasin Sando says, good morning, Freedom FM family. We have Samuel S. Seon. He says, Wendell, I'm driving back from Kakata. Hi to Esther. Hello, Pop. And
hey, what's up with you? Triple S.
Nigeria is in very big mess.
I know.
You see the road from Yanford Town through, I think that's Butoa in
Butoa
to Greenville.
Mm-hmm.
You will cry for us, especially for
my God.
County. Our people are suffering in hell. That's it. That's what Liberia is. But I think we have Gus.
All right, Gus, we have to give you a few minutes. Let's give you a few minutes before we get to the phone line. So welcome to the show, Gus Cormal. It's good having you this morning.
Good morning. Thank you. The man said we'll give you a few minutes.
Yeah, because we don't have much time. That's why I'm saying we got to get to the lines.
My man, joking with you. Stand there. Esther, Representative aspiring.
I know,
y'all don't put me in your situation. I can't.
You can't.
Join Richard. Join Richard area, you will know.
You'll be fine, my sister. Hey,
Yeah,
how they talking start? You know, when God bless you, nobody will talk about you.
I
And
know, right?
it
I
is
love
like that.
that.
Yeah. No, I
Mhm.
mean the AML deal. I mean, just I'll be honest. You know, it's sad that our leaders have to be held by, I hate to say it, by the balls. You know, but
Mhm.
I mean, we're having problem. I mean, we
Yep.
because we want to do so much, we have lack of ideals. Is the reason why we are where we are. Again, look at the figures that are thrown out in these developments. It doesn't take much for serious country to even assume those kind of loans and do those things themselves. Let's be honest.
Mm.
Look at the road they want to build and have somebody put toll on it. You telling me Liberia cannot secure a $300 million loan? A country that say they just passed how you call it, one point something billion
One point
dollars.
two billion dollars.
Listen, that's not even half of what they're paying people. That money
Mm.
that you know what I'm saying? That's
Mm-hmm.
you look at the budget. That 300 and something concession they just signed with that Sierra Leonean deal. Okay, if you cut those people's salary, Liberia could now use that money to build that road and then benefit from all the toll that they get from it. Common sense, right?
Mm.
Let's look at some of the other issues, even the AML deal. Again, you look at that same budget that they said they passed. In the next 5 year, 4 year they may have left. In the
Mm.
next 4 years, if you cut those people's salary and you're putting 300 or something, almost 400 million dollars aside, right? You
Mm.
cut those people's salary. Look how much money you have. Why would you sign or mortgage a company, I mean, a country resources? All you have to do is be fiscally responsible. All the Liberian government, and this is what we expect the president. We are. This is what we expect this president. Because, and I'm going to compare both of them because they're both technically from the soil. They live in that country. They know what it takes. Joseph Boakai had to live with people. He knows what it takes to be a houseboy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So for you to be in those, for you to be in power and not be able to do those kind of things that can alleviate us and alleviate this poverty that you all grew up in, but we just want the quick money. This is what where we are in this America, my brother and sister. We got people here that they come from Liberia quick. First thing is they want to impress everybody at home. They want to send money every day. They want to do all these things. They don't set their bases here. They're all of a sudden they're in debt. They cannot move. They cannot operate. They can't even go when something happened to their people because again they don't take the time to set themselves. They don't take the time to build their finances, and this is where our country is lacking and suffering. We have vultures. We have people that only live on that country, nothing else. They're not coming to help the country. They're not coming to develop the country. They're coming to amass wealth. They're coming to live off of the Liberian people so they can brag on social media and see what they have and what they're wearing and so on and so. I mean, we saw the last group. Some of them so ashamed they can't even come out today. Some of them so ashamed they're sitting there listening to you, Wendell and Esther. They can't even pick up the phone and defend their previous government that they're working because they never had the time to do the things that got them into the positions. Kala, I can
That's
start
true.
naming them.
That's true.
How many of those former ministers you hear today calling on the radio? But they're ashamed because the first thing they open their mouth, somebody will say, "My man, you were there. What did you do?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't do point. You sat there when President Weah had people that came from out of the country and blah blah blah. They were in higher position. They made a wrong decision. When the old man that come on this show, they complain with us. Those people sat there, my man Patty Mende, you can say so and so. Because those people were just there waiting to collect their own money. The small, chink, how you call it, rice crumb that can fall on the ground. They were picking up. They thought they were living life. You don't living no life. You're 30 something years old. If God bless you, you got 40 or 50 more years, and that's all you have to talk about. 6 years you were in power. That's it. You did not improve the Liberian people's situation. And this is where we are. And the same group here that here, they're going to do the same thing. And Liberia, Omane, and Papeda, I feel sorry for you guys, but I wish you guys had the guts to tell your children, enough is enough. We have to do it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's the voice of August Coleman. They're in the United States. Folks, with the few minutes we have, 15 more minutes to be here. So we can take few calls within the 15 minutes. Let's hear from you. Those of you who are listening, you listen to all of the stories we read this morning. Let's hear your contribution. Let's take you as our first caller. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Welcome to the show. Your name and where you join us from. I guess this is David King.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that standard recognition. This is David King. Darling, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, Mr. Minion, what drew my attention, I think wrong with the political question that's been carried on by this government. And I think it's a worker 2 months ago, it was a true reconciler. But I don't think there's how you reconcile a country. I think that two political parties. The worker claims that you want to bring national unity and you will proceed this way. You got Bianca, who is a senior military advisor to you. I think Baga is one of the president that has the highest advisor ever to be president in this country. And I think Mr. Baga, the way to speak is not good. It shouldn't mind our generosity towards him to allow him to film with most of these things that he continues to do in this country, and he's thinking that he's a man. This old man, he is actually to say he's not a young man. And what would God be saying? So he came back for his trip, and being able to get up on his bed, and he lied in bed and giving instruction to people to do things that they are not to do. We are saying to Mr. Blanca, if you want your government to be the government that will lead, I think you have to focus on the bread and butter issues instead of doing things to distract the people. Because certainly we came to power in the last 2 years, we are not saying anything. So something as it relates to the development of this country,
Okay.
all we see is doing to which one can people here and there. They can come back just when it's out east. I mean, from the western region, rather. The bad road condition in the place there, I think you need to focus on that.
Okay.
You need to give the need to like give more the people try to acknowledge it. You see, you bring them a distraction to people mind for that.
Okay, David.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's talk to you, this person. Good afternoon.
Hello, Mr. Miller and Sister Esther.
Welcome to the show. Tell us your name and where you join us from.
Thank you very much. This is the voice of Peter Star, the common chairman in the joint from Soul Cleaner District 4.
Let's hear you, Peter. You have a minute.
All right. We got President Mr. Wakai, who don't have a history of facing anything, but instead, wherever he been, he had destroyed everything. We sang this rain before the election, and that really even listen to us. And therefore, they brought him again to town. Message to everything that is sacred to this nation. Whether be the rule of law or the constitution, or whether it is the economy or the resources of Liberia. And we say this is very dangerous and terrible for the full movement of this country. Mr. Wakai is a terrible man. He has terrible lives in the past. He has a history of being terrible, and he has to be stopped. Someone can help us
That's what I said. That's what I said. It is your civil right. It is your civil right. You yeah.
By saying that, Mr. Nime, we don't have to wait for 6 years when we are saying or can detrimental leadership.
So
we
what?
are saying that this guy is committing a law to years that will even exceed 2029.
Peter, it is your right to checkmate this government. If you are not happy with the way the government is proceeding, yes, you said, you quoted the Constitution, Article 1. It gives you all the right to, protest. So it's left for you to go about.
Exactly. You are shying away from it. When this government is breaking the law, it gives for the authority to alter this government to remove Mr. Parker against us. That's the Constitution. I'm not saying it. Why are we afraid of it? Why are opposition sitting and looking at this thing, destroying everything? Or God for just saying something there, he's supposed to cut the pay. But look at the budget. Instead of him cutting salary, it's increasing. Astronomically. Look at the budget. So are you being increased by 6 million, 3 million, 10 million? Look there.
Thank you, Peter.
That has to be added on.
Thank you. Let's talk to this person. Thank you, Peter. We'll have to leave it there. Let's take another person. Hello. Good afternoon. Tell us your name and state your point quickly. No time.
Thank you, Wendy. Good afternoon to the Omega.
You're not small people.
I'm calling from the district of the incoming lawmaker.
All right, incoming lawmaker. Go ahead, Washington. Let's hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me ask you for the discussion. People who voted this old man, they just seem to move the country into problem. The state is each of the old man to the worker, and then put and what's going to what the resources of the country. People just using it to not see the economy. Once everything in this country just damaged, they pass around lies. How the building stuff, we just saw video of people with the stuff, video of bar room. What does government say? So we don't know, we don't really know what goes back and put people go for the women. I think we don't really know, but sometimes it's so bad. And the one other person, definitely I think God is very well when you mention that the whole back and when the two people just allow them to come. Thank you for the show, and let me say thank you to everyone, and also to our district incoming lawmaker. We're going to not to run away.
Oh, thank you. I want my get up. Let countryman pull forward. Richard Cohen. Let my get with smart. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, we're fine. Please, you have to turn down your radio volume, please.
Okay, we are finished that already.
All right, tell us your name now. I'm here with the incoming lawmaker.
We know you
Go ahead, let's hear you.
Please keep on just on Saturday.
I would definitely keep it. All right, sure, I'll keep that, Jesse.
All right, incoming lawmaker.
Y'all stop it. Y'all don't put me in situation.
Y'all don't put my game in situations again. No. Y'all don't pull the game more Ali shoes. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, welcome to the show. Go ahead, Peter. You have 1 minute. Let's hear you quickly.
Yeah, I'm not talking much.
Okay.
The worker did not win the election that took place. The election commission they added the number of frustration.
I mean, sorry, I'm not laughing because of what you said. I think girl showed me something that making me laugh. All right. I will die. They bet it out. Oh, this country is interesting. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, people we know, and good afternoon to our senior brother in the US, Mr. Tunis, and also to the incoming lawmaker of District 11.
Yeah.
And
Y'all play I ain't good in the there.
I'm smart, you know.
please don't
Y'all don't make me the wrong.
That's a blessing that happens just if I go. Seriously speaking, I must say, I keep a close and I see a vision of a system.
Oh, yeah?
That's what vision. How can I vision that?
You don't start my small thing once I'll be coming from my ghetto me, oh. Before she says she coming wrong, so she's saving your money, oh. Ah.
Anyway, thank you all people who know for the West country, for the recognitions, for the public, and Pogat to blow about. And I joined you this morning for our unknown destinations. You know, people who know the how I was saying, our local banner, but say it goes about saying you can fool a woman, pregnant her, but you cannot fool her to win her baby. You go to the behavior of a particular quote-unquote rescue regime and heard about one tabla rasa got to the human work out. It's very clear. God, they had to steer with the affairs of our country in the positive direction as we are doing. They lack the competency, they lack the calories and the credentials to lead in that direction that we are led us into faith here. See the family all with all kind of person we are when us sleep work out when you saw the people of Babu celebrating in every hospital. You saw the people of Babu celebrating every hospital. Person we are going to UAE, we're not wasteless. The Puaka going to America, going to France. But they may go and come back, not be the full of Palestine, not one and not incompetent. That's not what that's I say, the president share money. We are making a case. I hospital for the mental hospital. You saw a you know what, building very candidates. Was money because we are canceling for Doma. You were better money, you were taking people to death? No. It was their needs. But I can tell you, people we know, they're going to go, I know we're going to ask every corporate team, they will feel, and they already feel to go after a character, a very distinct character that will do.
Thank you.
I can tell you. No problem. I don't problem that, but we're not taking it for the show and come to the city, but they never put it in labor for the Kamikaze and they go to rescue regime.
Thank you. That's the voice of the man, Popa. All right, let's talk to this person. Hello? Good afternoon, Patience. Welcome to the show. Right? I hope I got your name correctly.
Patience, please.
All right, Patience. I said Patience. I didn't call your last name, but I said Patience.
All right.
So go ahead.
The issue of the answer recovery. Let me just tell Waka. When you want a Filipino car, that would want secretly people to get stuff. Every day in the country, that Waka answer recovery with time without thing. It's on the left. When they pop in, when they put it in there, they don't want to me. When you got when I tell soon, they don't know what to do.
Okay. All right, Patience.
Different story. When I get what I found was in the man. You can call about the point, you are proud. What else for you? I'm going to put a part. Oh, I don't have drawing. But I will come in and we are waiting for the time to read.
Thank you, Patience. Thank you. Let's take this person. Good afternoon.
Hi, Wendell.
Masisi, hello. Let's hear you.
Thank you. Let me have to answer and Boston in diaspora.
Hello, man.
No, Wendell. One listen to my Southeastern Bolando say Calamati. Look, to tell us that I never leave the whole they pass for me.
What you need?
I said, Calamati.
Yo,
I put it in a global way. I have to do it that way. He said, Nicola Martin, so I have called him my Southeastern Bolando.
Okay.
Martin walk up in the Eastern for the people who can't order me and boy, me. So to the issue, he said that they will walk to the issue, they make Martin say that they will not so money. He paid to play. He paid the what he paid that one and agree with them in it. For the argument's sake, to the rest You know what I'm saying? So really just people say you go back to your to them when you what to right here. LP I don't see that one there one of them sound right. If they you who right here. Okay, that when your bill was 419, it then was two play. What's the pocket office?
Okay, Master C.
Smoking that woman. So then she very duplet. How much you where you go there? She get that for it. Then you just go there. You are in buffer. So then it is a duplet. You match up. Then I want money coming from.
Thank you, Master C. Thank you, Master Z. Esther, let's take the last two comments so we'll go home. We're against time. We're not taking any more
we
calls.
have Duerte. She says, good morning from Minnesota. How are you guys doing? And Aliyu Masale says, yesterday was Alexa. The entire comment section was calling her the incoming presidential press secretary to president. We are 2030. Today is Esther Deshe 11 incoming lobby. They shouldn't put me in situation again, you know. I'm begging them.
Yeah, all right, folks. So, Esther, the Madam Incoming Lawmaker, we want to say thank you so much.
And Winter, just before we go, I just want to use this time quickly to sell my market. And those of you
Market
ground.
The market ground.
Well, this is what we have. We have several gift items for
Who allow you to do that?
occasion.
Who allow you to do that?
I'm taking it because I'm on the show.
So who allow you to do that?
Really, we know.
Okay, go ahead. She jacked.
Look at her probably. So for every occasion, whether birthday, you got somebody special, you know, you want to send us something too,
Yeah.
or you just want to say thank you to somebody for what they did or whatever occasion. Just let us know. We have several gift items here that we package
look like a last goal.
So we package nicely in the boxes. Just let us know. And my page I'm using is Darlene Daku. When you look on Facebook, you'll see it just in case you want to go there to see what exactly I'm talking about. If you can't see it here, Darlene Daku, look there and you'll see the different gift items we have. Most of them have been taken, but we can also restock or repackage for you.
Okay. So thank you very much. My birthday is coming up, so you want to make a package for me? Well, get in contact with her.
Just let me know.
All right. So, folks, let's go to Gus. Gus, you can take a few seconds from your end.
Yeah, thank you, man. I really can enjoy my CC coming. That is my CC that we expected when we used to give those people a hard time. But she used to be party mandated back then. You see, when we used to get what a guy from Water and Sewer a hard time. You know, the COVID word means when they were getting stock coming. Yeah. You know, but you know, in the end, it's just the way it is, man. It's the people that we have elected, my people. It's not just the presidents. Because we used to yell at president, we had to. It's just our own people that said they're just terrible, man. They get the job, they don't want to do the job. But Esther, you know, if I was you, though, put that stuff on the link and then share it on your freedom. Make sure
we can hear you. Gus? Okay, go ahead. Yeah, we're hearing you.
All right, see you guys. Have a good one. No, I was just telling Esther she needs to put that on the freedom link.
Couldn't call you yesterday.
So share it.
I couldn't get to you yesterday, Gus. But I would try to call you. I don't know whether you buy your phone that I can call you in the next 2 minutes.
Yeah, I'm on the phone right now talking to you. You can call me when you're done.
Okay. All right, so I think Esther will place that call. But anyway, folks, we got to go. We'll be here tomorrow on the midweek edition of the show. Thanks to our sponsor, Crime Stopper Liberia, Mayuba & Sons Incorporated, and Exodus Best Price Store.